Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So, this would be an energetic update on a specific connection on your mind. This reading would resonate with people that have been wondering about where is this connection or relationship going. I don't think that you're currently speaking to this person that I'm picking up their energy. This person is someone that has been pondering a lot. You are representing the divine feminine energy. However, they're seeing you a bit insensitive, literally because of the card sensitive being in reverse. They think that you have found your place or solace or happiness someplace else. This person could actually have a bit of an emasculated ego. It makes me wonder if this person thought that you've gone to someone else. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling that so strongly from spirit. They thought you've gone someplace else, but you haven't. It's like people think it's quite rare for individuals to be that happy with themselves that they have nobody else in their roster, so to speak. And I think that this type of projection is not coming specifically because they have a roster, so to speak, but because even if they're single, they're not that happy. It seems like this person is in a transitional phase where they are willingly single but they're not happily single. Does that make sense? Like, they don't like what's out there, so they're single, but they're not exactly enjoying being single as well. Like, they really want somebody if they could get somebody worth investing in as well. So it's not quite all bad, but it is difficult for this person to stay alone. That's what I'm really feeling. They do have quite a few things that they want to say, but they're just observing you right now because they're in this stage of transformation for themselves. They do fantasize a lot. However, this energy is a bit weird, or maybe it's just new to them, that it's not about exactly your body that they fantasize or think about or even self pleasure. It's more about your attitude and your personality. And there's a very royal like essence to you. They don't think that you're trying to be someone, but the way that you conduct yourself, your body posture, the way you sit, the way you express yourself, it's so eloquent, it's so alluring, it's so feminine, it's so smooth, it flows, and it demands attention. You're not gonna yell, you're not gonna scream, but you're gonna deliver your messages in such a precise and intentional manner while maintaining as much as thoughtful eye contact is required. The word that I really feel is so intentional. Their interactions with you, this person feels like it's not that you're over explaining or overextending yourself. However, they just end up feeling like everything that you say has so much value for them. Again, there's just this energy of waiting. What should I say? Should I say anything? It's not exactly a fear of commitment or intimacy. In fact, this is someone that's just waiting on the sidelines to rush in when they could start, because the Eight of Wands is in reverse and we have the Knight of Swords. But in this deck, Knight of Swords is actually patiently waiting. I'm just gonna wait and see. And there's just this uncanny sense that is she or he even interested anymore, or were they ever interested in the first place? This person is just thinking about, like, were you ever that interested in me? Because maybe some time has passed away, for some of you precisely 5 months, and you're just sitting and wondering, okay, For some of you, you're just kind of like, okay, like let's just let this go. Maybe it wasn't that important for them. Maybe they're never gonna show up. But guess what? You'd never recognize or realize, because maybe it's a fleeting thought in your mind that, oh, maybe they're just not gonna come forward because you've been there, done that. I just think they're still hung up on you. This could have been a situationship, a hookup. It doesn't seem like a full blown connection. Um, yeah, it just does not feel like an ex to me. It feels more like somebody's wearing a yellow shirt. The last time you saw this person, they were wearing a bright yellow shirt, jeans, and like some cool sneakers or like white sneakers. A green polo shirt, to be very specific, is what I'm picking up. A red polo shirt. Um, I'm hearing 2 men and a half sitcom, 2 men and a half, and red lipstick or something red. Maybe this person has noticed your social media profile. The last time you met this person, you were wearing a red lipstick or something red on the face. It could be the cheeks, flush, flushed cheeks, but I'm not sure what exactly red. It seems like a red lipstick or red nail paint. It seems like this person is on the fence because they would have to make a big change in their life. And some of it is related with either long distance or letting go of a past lifestyle. For a few of you, it's a lot about the mix of it, but then there's also the fact that this person would have to let go mainly their old lifestyle. Now, there is a strong attachment, but also emotional intelligence on their end in understanding that it's not very wise or mature of them to be making these, um, to not be making these changes. However, there's a pickle like, do I want to settle down too soon? It's not about marriage, it's not about putting a ring on it, it's not about, settling down, but it's more about like settling down in a commitment. And it's not about sowing their wild oats either. All of this translates as a self-worth issue over here. It's more about thinking freely a bit, because maybe they have this pessimistic, mindset that nothing really works out for me. And I heard from spirit that sometimes you tend to think about it like that as well. To my surprise, you know that this person genuinely likes you, but just because they didn't act on it, you were like, just fuck it, what should I do with this? Been there, done that. It's like a lot of times this has happened and they just don't show up, so what's the point? But here comes the lovers, and there is a lot of nakedness over here, but I see it as a lot of soul bearing, almost completely naked in front of you. Like, or I can vision myself doing that. That's why it sounds so appealing. And this could also be a question why it feels a bit new, unworthy, undeserving, but also appealing and tempting. Because there's a part of them that is fighting with the light and dark. The lightness feels like, yeah, this would be so good for me. Like, I know I'm capable of it. It's like the one healed part of them is telling them that they're capable of that. The other unhealed or disintegrated part is kind of like, oh, but why do you want to settle down right now? So there are certain dialogues that are coming out in various forms for this specific person. There is quite a lot that this person has learned through the reflection of this connection. They've gotten various insights into their growth, and this person is a hard worker. If it so far resonates with you, they are hardworking in certain areas, and it does seem like a budding sprout in terms of seed of consciousness or emotional quotient or intelligence, whatever you like to call it. It does seem like they're growing towards it, they are curious about it, they do tend to spend time. This person could be quite philosophical, poetic. They have their own interests, all right. They are interested in certain things, and one of the things that probably bothers them, if it resonates with you so far and you were ghosted or yeah, somewhere they just cut off communication with you abruptly, or just eventually, or naturally, or what do you say, gradually. And this person just vanished and they stopped talking to you. Hence the no contact situation, I guess. They feel like they were quite insensitive and they should have handled it better, but it's the, I guess, the gush of developing feelings that caught them by surprise that they were not comfortable with. And it has taken them some time to realize this. I am hearing from spirit that if this is your first time interacting with this person and in such a manner or in a romantic context, and this person ran away, then one thing that's suggested is to not take that too closely to your heart. Just let it be. Probably you're doing really well for yourself, especially if you kind of sort of just moved on. It didn't matter to you, or I'm not saying it didn't matter to you, but it's like you couldn't pay more heed to what this person is actually doing, right? Because in your perspective, spirit is telling me that it was not an act that was full of integrity. Some of you were very, very disappointed that how dare you just leave me on red, or how dare you just stop talking to me. Like, I know you had feelings for me and I did too, and if I was brave enough, then why won't you? That's something that I'm hearing from spirit. And I think you forget that you're quite an intimidating person for most people around you. Especially if you come across quite woo woo. That's what I'm hearing. Like, a lot of people call it woo woo because their mind can't exactly, comprehend the level of density as well as light that it comes with, right? So I'm gonna say that this person has realized that it was quite wrong on their end. Even if you were intimidating for them, I think that it was this aspect of unworthiness that bubbled up, that made you a bit more scary than you actually are for this person. And if this was a platonic friend that turned into something romantic, it's like you weren't that scary before. Because when we enter into a romantic equation or a dynamic, things start changing, and our wounds start resurfacing. So this person, this difference of how they started feeling and how they were bit more comfortable before they started developing feelings for you was quite self-explanatory for this person. That did make them realize that this was wrong. And I think that the peak of realizing this, or the guilt that resurfaced, was when this person realized that you're irreplaceable. They miss you terribly. That's what I'm gonna say. They miss you terribly. I believe that you are quite often on this person's mind. They don't tell you, but they're checking your WhatsApp display. If you post anything, they're very curious. They wanna tap on your profile icon, they wanna look at your stories. In fact, this person may have, if they've been on your Facebook, they've gone back down to just stalk you. I mean, there's quite a lot. They're just not showing it, and it does seem a bit sad, but I feel like Spirit is kind of explaining how for them it's way too much. For them, catching feelings for an emotionally sensitive person, so perceptive, so intuitive, so creative, um, and that comes with your divine nature, right? It's easy to you, so you're not that surprised by it. But they're offering you a perspective where maybe because you're you don't realize how intimidating and bright you are for people that don't always indulge in a lot of heart to heart conversations, or don't have these um I don't have this life that is so fit to them. Like, you've worked hard to make your life your own, right? Not let just anybody come in. So for you, this level of depth is your bread and butter. But for this person, it's quite a lot, because yeah, maybe they dip their toe in it sometimes, but you're a new level for this person altogether. So that's just what Spirit wanted to let you know over here. One thing that Spirit does want to leave you with this message, if it resonated with you at all, or even just a few bits and pieces of it, is that don't invest just because you feel like right now this is the best option. And it's not something that I feel like you don't know, but sometimes we need a small reminder that you don't have to honor this person's feelings now that they're able to honor them. The word that I'm putting pressure upon is able, because before they weren't able to. Now that they're in a bit of emotional capacity to embrace their feelings for you, it doesn't mean that you have to honor theirs. Honor your feelings more than you honor this person's. That doesn't mean you have to be brutal or vengeful, that you ignored me, so I'm gonna ignore you back. It can just be a respectful no. And that is just an option. It's a suggestion if you choose to do that. This is not moving towards no, just reject the person outwardly. This is more like if it doesn't come naturally towards you anymore, because during this time you've also had feelings that have faded away or made you feel like, oh, this person is not respecting me. Like, that's what I think that was a major tweak over here, or something that may have eventually given you the ick as you were doing your inner work trying to understand this person's silence altogether. So I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope it resonated, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye.